Oh, you can't.
Oh, you said it already.
You said it the first words out of your mouth.
I'm literally just typing. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the Ought to Know Better podcast. Totally caught off guard there. I was quickly typing a little love message to all our listeners or viewers that are waiting or have been waiting in the lobby. There's three of us. There should be four of us. Jay is climbing up his seat, I think, or doing whatever he's doing. Have you got the intro ready, seeing as though you've absolutely thrown me on the bus?
Yeah, I'm sorted, mate.
Yeah, right. Roll intro. We'll try again.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Ought to Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
That might be best trick start yet, though.
Yeah,
absolutely did me. I had no idea. For those that don't know or aren't in the know, it's usually the host, myself, which is supposed to start that, and Mr. Ramskill has properly done me over. Anyway, good evening, chaps. Good evening, anyone else. Welcome to the main podcast, season 3, episode 19. We are on. I'm joined by the wonderful Matthew Ramskill, and Mr. Cal Cafola. How are we doing, chaps? Are you both well?
Matthew. Is it Sunday?
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Matthew.
Yeah, doing all right.
I'm okay, James. Thank you very much.
Good. We are supposed to be joined by Hasbull himself, like I said, but apparently he's got a technical issue. We think he's probably just, he lives in a little cave somewhere, so he's probably forgotten that he was supposed to be on. He's pretty much useless. So he's going to miss out.
I usually wear Leeds clobber. And I'm not wearing Leeds clobber tonight, but I have got my member's scarf on, so I'm just showing off.
He's got his black label scarf on. He's going to give us a little show. You're going to give us a little turn and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, we can. Hang on.
Are you wearing the socks as well?
I've got wrong. No, I've got wrong end. There we go. See, look.
Oh, look at that! A bit of black label for you.
Beautiful.
That.
No, I don't have the socks on.
Oh. That's disappointing.
Is that what you get as part of your
yeah, and some musical socks that do matching on together.
Oh, honestly, it makes all that money worthwhile, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. 80 quid for no guarantee of a ticket. No limit on memberships, but, you get a cashmere scarf and some musical socks, and you can't complain, can you?
No.
Oh, exactly.
Definitely not.
What more could you want?
Yeah,
anyway,
absolutely.
I hope there's been some movement in the predictions league. I'm sure Mr. Gill.
Nice.
Ought to Know Better predictions.
I'll take over your smart.
I keep going, Mr. Gill, but that's not his real name.
Usually it's me in the top left-hand corner fucking shit up, but anyway, go for it.
One of my football mates always called me Mr. Gill, so that was just natural for me. He always did. So we never covered the West Ham results.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, hang on a minute. This is Hasbulla right here.
Hey!
Yeah, just
the mountain goat. It's taken him 4 years to climb up his chair. There he is. You all right, Jay?
Does that make you the Mountain Dew?
Mountain Dew, if you want.
We'll move on from that. We'll move on quickly from that. So we look at West Ham first, because we never covered this. I did deliver Carl the bad news that although he was absolutely spot on with his predictions for the Cardiff game, that doesn't count towards the predictions league, unfortunately. But I'll just run down them. So Jay went 3-1 Leeds, 0 points. Smarty went 1-0 West Ham, -3 points.
Fuck.
Stats went 2-1 Leeds. Fans, Jay Michaels went 3-1 Leeds. Joe went 2-1, Bren went 2-1, I went 2-1, Carl went 2-2, draw gets 5 points.
What?
Luke went 4-1, Si went 2-1, Scott went 2-1, Big Lou went 2-1, Jason went 1-all draw, 3 points. We fast forward to Aston Villa. Jay went 2-0 Leeds, nothing. Smarty went 2-1 Villa, 5 points.
Did I go 2-1?
You did, you horrible bastard.
Yeah, go on, lad.
This is right upset me.
Stats went 1-1. Fans, Alison Adams, went 3-1 Villa. Joe went 2-1 Leeds. Bren went 2-2 draw. I went 3-1 Leeds. Carl went 1-1 draw. Luke went 2-1 Leeds. Big Lou went 3-1 Leeds. And Jason went 2-0 Villa and gets 1 point. That gives us a table of, unfortunately, Jay still top. I'm joint second with the fans. So Jay's on 11 points. The fans and I are on 7 points. Jason's on 6. Carl's on 5. Luke's on 3 with Smarty.
Get in. Redemption.
Who was on -2 before that one. Stats is on nil point. Joe's on -1. Bren's on -3. Bren, who won the first of these, by the way, is on -3. Si's on -5. So Joe's a guest from the Just Joe show. Big Lou's a guest from LS11, and Scott is a guest from LUTV. All on minus points. Big Lou and Scotty joint bottom on -7 apiece.
Incredible.
Back to you, Smarty.
Incredible. Yeah, I remember the first league. I think Brent pipped me to put it to the post, didn't he, in the first one?
I think there were 4 of us, me, you, him, and Luke, that could have won it going into last couple of fixtures. And he took it at the end.
Just fly through a couple of comments. Bremner's Ghost, good evening. Liam, good evening. Nice to have you along, everyone. If you aren't doing or haven't done already, interact with us through in the comments and we'll try and flash through them. When we find something interesting and worthwhile talking about, let's just be honest. There's a lot of...
So don't you bother, Luke.
And
if you are around, Luke.
If you're new to the pod, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you get notifications and all that kind of jazz as well.
One thing to note, guys, since Brentford have been in the Premier League, when they have scored first, they have never lost. Well, that's okay, because they won't be scoring first on Sunday. We will, and then we'll throw it away.
Behave yourself.
And then we'll throw it away.
We'll throw it away.
Yeah.
We won't.
Oh, no, we're not
happy
with being up in front. We're going to give you 2 goals. There you go.
There you go.
We'll start shit. They'll score.
If you haven't seen it, Gilly and Luke covered the Baradian Cup this weekend for our loss against Villa. However, I have 2 newbies here with us today, Mr. J. Carter and Carl. What are your thoughts on the Villa defeat, chaps? Did you think it was a good game? Do you think we deserve something out of it? Jay, I'll come to you first with your face in your hands.
In fact, do you concur with King Jesse that it's the best performance we've had in 11 and a half months of him at the helm?
No, I think it was decent, but how can it be the best performance if you still have shitty defensive errors like that? You can't call it the best performance. You could call it one of the best attacking performances, perhaps, but we still came up short. And when you've got those fucking planks of wood, them like dummies that you have in training that you boot ball around for free kicks. That's basically what we've got at the back. Yeah, no, they're not mannequins, rather they're different. They're like the special ones that
the metal outlines. They're like a copper piping type thing.
Yeah, that's basically what we've got at the back at the moment. So I'm not buying
a traffic
best performance. Well, yeah, it's an upgrade on the traffic cone, I suppose. Premiership and all that.
Yeah,
so what's your solid performance then? Sorry, go on, Carl.
No, it's fine, Jay. I don't know if Jay had finished there.
Oh no, I'm done, mate. I'm waiting till a bit to really get into it tonight.
Oh, here we go.
Shit, right. I thought the performance going forward, like Jay said, was get the fuck, will you?
Do you like Jesse?
For those of you listening on the audio podcast, Jay, who's saying Leeds came up short again, has a Jesse Marsch background.
Only temporarily.
On his screen.
That's enough of that. That'll be for April Fools.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah. I thought going forward, like Jay said, we were really good. But the only outball that we seemed to have was Willie, and he got absolutely battered for a lot of it.
Yeah, didn't he?
Yeah, like I can understand what Jesse is saying about maybe kind of protecting attacking players a little bit. He got kicked about the place quite a bit, and he came out with a strapping on his left leg as well as left thigh for the second half. So you wonder, is that going to have a knock-on effect now coming up with these games? You know, I know he's a young fella, like, but it is what it is. But yeah, like Jay was saying as well about the defence. Like, do they do anything in training? Do they actually fucking look at the defence and go, lads, we should probably do something with that? And they don't. And then they just go, sure, fuck it, we'll score enough goals. But then the problem is we're not actually scoring any fucking goals. And then the other thing I got a bit baffled with in his press conference there recently, was it today, where he said it was the most complete performance by a striker in his managerial career. Now, I'm not quite sure if it's the most complete performance by a striker in his managerial career if he doesn't fucking score.
Exactly.
Like he had Erling Haaland at Leipzig and he scored a hat-trick on his Champions League debut. That is the fucking complete performance of a striker under Jesse Marsch. Like I'm getting more and more frustrated and lost as to where he's going with all of this. Like I think, yeah, we
You want to check him, don't you? You want to say, why can't you see it?
Yeah,
I think to be honest, there is. I have got a little bit down. We're going to, after the Twitter poll, we're going to go in on Jesse Marsch as well. There's been a few interviewers knocking about. There's been what the friggin' hell's he doing here?
That was me. It's my bad.
Someone's mucking about with a feng shui. It's making me feel all a bit weird. Practice your origami another time, Carl.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll go in on. We'll talk a little bit more about Jesse Marsch after the Twitter poll. Which obviously, if Jade had been here early, he would have realised that it was up to him to do it. However, as soon as you aren't, or you weren't, because you were stuck in a cave or on top of a hill or wherever you are.
I had a list of issues.
Gilly, are you ready with the Twitter poll results introduction, my friend?
No.
Right.
Twitter poll results.
Is that the host did that?
It's like a well-oiled machine, lads. I don't honestly, it's mind blowing.
I nailed
I said no, but clearly I was.
I nailed it last week. I don't know what you're talking about.
Would it that one of our lads, Mr. Minshall, he was on the Just Joe show, and someone shithoused him, and
someone,
person shall remain nameless, Mr. Gill.
Will they remain nameless?
Some good-looking lads and Luke. Yes, that was me. I was being a bit mean, wasn't I? Anyway, we'll go to the Twitter poll. Each week, we ask the listeners to choose a main subject for the podcast via a poll on our Twitter feed. This week, we have: is every game now a must-win? What positions do we need to strengthen? Which is our best attacking lineup? And do we reckon Daesh scuttled that lad's mum? The winner was Do or Die Time, which is in response to is every game now a must win? Is every game now a must win? I mean, obviously, we need to start getting some points behind this because we haven't got that many. We're in a very, very similar sort of situation as last year under our predecessor, Mr. Bielsa, who was, eventually sacked at the end of February. So, chaps, where do we see his next points coming from? And is every game now an absolute must win? Whoever wants to go first.
I think so.
No,
yeah.
It's not a must win. How can every game be a must win when?
Look at where we are, man.
So yeah. Look at where we are. We're not in relegation zone. We're close to it in terms of points, but we're not in it now. If you look at, let's look at the top of the table and try to put it into perspective. Have Arsenal won the league?
No.
Would you put Arsenal as favourites for winning the league?
Yeah.
Probably.
At the moment.
Would you? At the moment.
At the moment.
So the 12 points clear or somewhat daft. You might know it's 8 points. I can't remember. 8 points. It might be 8 points clear. And a lot of people are debating as to whether they've won the league or not. 8 points clear, and nobody's sure that they're going to win the league. At the turn of the halfway point in the season, which we are at now, that's where we're at now. Nobody's won the league and nobody's relegated. There's no way we're going to have to win every league game from now until the end of the season. No way at all.
No. So it's a very tongue-in-cheek.
But that's it. That's it. But Cal said yes.
Well, what I was going to say to follow that up was that every game with the teams around us is a must-win.
Now that's
Not
very
necessar-
different.
Yeah, not necessarily every game.
You're going
the rest of the
against,
season.
people that are flying like Brighton and Fulham, expecting to win those games. Unfortunately, we're not living in that world at the moment because they are flying. They're both in European spots. No, every game's not must win, but there are. I don't even like this term. There are 6 pointers there. There are games that we have to win, and those games that we have to win are your Bournemouths, your Southamptons, your Evertons. We do have to win those games, and that's where we put in a great showing against Liverpool. Come away with 3 points. We're putting a great showing against Chelsea. Smacked them. But that will count for now if you end up getting smacked by Everton, Southampton and Bournemouth and go down. So, we have to win those games. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's
that's essentially it. Like, it's the teams around us that are going to cause us trouble. It's not the teams above us, because if we're winning and teams around us are drawing or losing, we're fine. But we can't rely on other teams. Like,
they've got to play each other. They can't both lose, can they? They've got to play each other. And let's be honest, Chelsea and Liverpool are both shit.
At the moment, they're fucking wank.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, they must be if we can beat them, lads. Let's be honest.
Well, we beat Liverpool away, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? And we.
No, they were good performances.
Rattled Chelsea.
And you look at Villa weekend. Apart from a couple of individual errors and stuff like that. I mean, that Bailey goal. If anyone else scores it, Mo Salah used to score them week in, week out in seasons gone past. They were absolute quality goals. It was a good finish. But I think that aside, for once and only once, I will probably stand up and say that I wouldn't exactly put that at Marsch's doorstep. I'd say that would more down to the players really than the tactics. We all know the tactics aren't the best. We all know. We've been banging on about it. Well, I certainly have for the last 18 months. Well, not 18 months, a year coming up to it near enough. We know about the tactics, but there's been so many individual errors over the course of the season which have led to them, the opposition scoring and stuff like that. You can't always be firmly at Jesse Marsch's door. Specifically Brendan Aaronson's back pass, etc., Koch, Llorente, the list could, it could go on forever. I think at some point, we need to start looking at the players themselves as well and say, hold on a minute, you can't exactly expect Marsch to take the full brunt of this because it's down to them as well. They're still paid to do a job. They can still play football. They can still pass a ball to each other, which inevitably sometimes they just can't do.
No, they can't even do that half the time. That's when you really get upset because it's a fucking basic. But do you know what? The thing is, like, we've all been on the Jesse Marsch quite a bit because none of us have enjoyed the football in the most part. And it's unlucky that it went the way it did. We got screwed by VAR. I'd love to know why stuff doesn't even get looked at for us, and yet stuff that's exactly sort of the same incident will get given against us time and time again. But if we did carry that performance forward and we played like that in the remaining games, I think we'd win a fair portion of them, in all honesty. It's whether we turn up and do that again. It's whether that was like a turning point for us or whether it was just a false dawn, just a good night, And then I'd also ask the question, even though it's not strictly related to the Paul topic, but would we have been better spending 35 million on a really quality centre-back than a striker or winger or whatever he is? I would say yes.
Yeah,
it's down to one person, though, isn't it? It's all right having an absolute gem of a player in the middle, but you're still surrounded by nuggets that can't pass a ball to each other and decide to play shite football.
That's true, but you should have somebody who at least has some sort of ability to read the game at centre-back and some positional sense. I'll tell you, Llorente ain't got either of those things.
And he's just got a new contract, but I think
I don't think we can blame Llorente for what happened at the weekend.
Oh no, I'm not blaming Llorente for anything. I'm just stating.
No, but Jay's brought him up and Smarty's brought him up, and
it's just in general.
Harsh if he doesn't even play to blame him for the goal.
No, but you can. I mean, he's made enough fuck ups in the early part of the season where he were absolutely at fault for quite a few. As has Koch, as has Cooper. They're all.
Let's face it. Most recently, it's been Pascal, and we all really want him to do well. You brought up the goal that we conceded, and it was a good finish, but he showed somebody who was dynamite on his left foot inside at left back. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, then thanks very much, and I'm going to pop it in far corner.
Yeah.
He's had, I was buzzing when I saw him take the armband against Cardiff. We really wanted him to do well in that game, and we'd really, I think he's a popular player with the fan base, and we want him to do well. At the moment, he's not on a great run of form, so he's going to have to deal with that as he does. But yeah, I mean, in general, yeah, I agree with you. I'm just surprised that Jay's not mentioned Cooper, the Cooper hating bastard.
Yeah,
They've all been
giving him a pass this week.
I don't think we ain't got a left back. We don't know who our best right back is, and there's centre.
No, we do. We absolutely know who our best right back is.
We do. It's well, I'd
it just shouldn't be him. It shouldn't be him by now. It just is.
It should,
just like Cooper shouldn't be our best centre back, and he just is.
Yeah,
we shouldn't have spent £65 million on a defence and then rely on what got promoted from the Championship.
Just like when Dallas comes back, he'll be our best left back. It's crazy.
I don't know. There's this chap. I don't know how to pronounce his name from that we're looking at. The guy from the Moroccan left back. I think we're looking at him. We're weighing up.
You don't mean Unahi.
I'm going to attempt his name. We don't do names on here.
You don't mean Unahi.
Carl, and I don't even think I'm going to even put Carl.
You don't mean Unahi, do you?
That's the one.
He's an absolute box-to-box midfielder. He's never been a left back.
Yeah.
Or is he? Is he the midfielder?
Yeah. He played on right over three.
Yeah.
He played on right over three. He played on right over three for Morocco in World Cup.
I mean, I don't know about you chaps, but I'm glad that we've got Route. I mean, he looks like an absolute beast. However, I can't get that excited about sort of those kinds of players because they're not allowed to play with the freedom that you would normally think that sort of player would have because they're forced to play inside and they're not forced to have that sort of freedom on the wings and stuff.
I feel for you, going out and spending 40 million euros on a player, you just can't get excited about signings like that. It's terrible.
What I'm saying is, under
do you remember when we were in League One?
If it were, what I'm saying. You know where I'm coming from.
I do get what you mean. I do get what you mean.
Yeah, see this guy play, but no, well, Jesse Marsch will probably play him in centre like he played Verber at centre. In centre of midfield when he's he's a left back or he's a centre back. You're playing players
just like Bielsa played strike there and cock there.
Exactly. Absolute frigging waste of time. Although Verber did look to be, he did fairly well.
Did you watch game? What you on about?
He looked fairly solid. I've seen highlights. Right.
I'm sorry, I'm going to get off your case. I wasn't even supposed to be on tonight, and all I've done is give everybody shit.
For YouTube. Yeah, you're right. I didn't watch it. But, I'm glad I didn't as well.
Just entertaining yourself.
I don't know why, but I've bought a ticket for tomorrow night. And
I'm having loads of fun.
Have you seen what Jesse Marsch has said about tomorrow night's game? Just a couple of comments I picked up in his pre-match presser from Phil A. Well, check this bad boy out. Marsch and Cardiff, for me, we need another complete performance. We need conviction and we need a win. I hate being results-based, but that's where we are. No fucking shit, Jesse. It's a cup. It's kind of important we get a result in the cup. Otherwise, you're out of the fucking cup.
It's a football manager. It's a results-based business.
I don't know who's pumping him with
where's
these
he got that from?
This is one thing that I did see.
That's almost... Oh, Jesus.
Christ.
That quote
for the audio listeners, he's just really just popped up an image of Homer Simpson. I'm not even going to describe that because
that quote is almost up there with the old I don't see us as being a relegation battle from last week. I mean, where the fuck did he get that from?
Oh, I don't know.
He got that. I tell you exactly where he got that from. He got that from Rads.
Why would you say it?
Him.
Why would you say it?
No,
when everyone's already on your back,
because he was specifically asked.
Looking for an opportunity to give you more
because he was specifically asked. And if he's been told by his boss that he's not allowed to say that we're in a relegation fight because his boss said at the start of the season that it would be impossible for us to be in a relegation fight, they're not his words. I'm not having that.
It's suicide if you did anyway, wouldn't it? If you were to go out there and admit that yes, my team is in a relegation fight after the money that they've spent this season, which is a fair few million. And we've added to it in the January transfer window to go out there and say, yes, of course, we're in a relegation fight halfway through the season is absolute suicide. So he wouldn't even do that to himself, would he? Mr. Positive.
I don't think he would. But at the same time, I'm hoping at some point he's kind of sitting in his office looking at the field and Thorpe Arch going, Jesus, this could be it for me now if I don't get my shit together. But I don't think he's actually doing that. I think he's in fairy fucking land, man. I like... genuinely, like I was tweet today, and some guy, I said, look, I haven't coached at a high level at all, but even I can see that there's nothing being coached defensively or phases of play by anything I've ever seen. And he fucking comes back to me telling me, am I a fucking PE teacher and all this bollocks? And I was like, no, man, I'm not proclaiming to be this brilliant UEFA B coach like you reckon. All I'm saying is, as someone with an ounce of football knowledge, you can see that they're not doing any of that stuff. Like if there were, results would be completely different with the players we have.
Yeah,
they're not.
absolutely.
They don't. He doesn't seem to be doing anything with the defense, and that's blatantly obvious because there's no organisation.
We did speak to Si about that. I don't know if you've heard the BNC, but we did speak to Si Johnson about that, and you know, I straight asked him. Specialist coaches coming in to coach your defence, coach set piece coaches as well, you know, and what he thought about that. And he said it depends on the manager and the coaching style and the players that you've got as to how you coach them. And a good coach is adaptable to the players that they've got. He wasn't against specialist coaches, but he's seen work done without specialist coaches. But for me, I think when you're so porous and so
disorganized.
Yeah, fragile is the word I would reaching for. We're fragile because we look like we're going to concede every single time somebody attacks us.
One of you chaps put through one of the a JPEG on our group chat about us being like the least or the worst or one of the worst collectively at playing out from the back. And the women. I don't know. Do you want to elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah. So
yours, I don't want.
Yeah, the two axes were the distance covered in attack and the percentages of completed build-ups. And on average, if you combine the two, we're by far. So we're not the worst in terms of. We're not the shortest in terms of the average length of a build-up. And we're not the worst in isolation of the percentage. But when you combine those two, we're by far the worst.
Yeah.
And I think that's indicative. You look at the amount of success we had with largely the same players, building up from the back, overlaps, getting
counter-attacking.
Counter-attacking, but also the width, the massive width that we played with, and we played with genuine wingers and had the fullbacks overlapping, and therefore we were able to make sure that we were doubling up on players, and we were massively successful at building from the back.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we can't do it.
And it's not like those players can't do it, because as you said, they've proven already
we've seen them.
They can.
We've seen them do it. So there's only one person you can blame in that scenario.
Yeah. This is the thing, like, absolutely. So that's what makes me think more and more that we're not doing anything with the defenders. It's like he's so fixated on how we're going to go forward that in my head, what they're doing in training is just lining up the back four and telling them to defend. And it doesn't seem like they're putting any organisation into who's pressing out first, who's sitting back, who's coming in, covering in behind. There doesn't seem to be anything like that being coached because it's not.
They don't even move.
It's not coming across on the pitch
together. They don't even move up in a line together.
And Shelley makes a good point there as well.
Go on, I'll let you read it out then.
I think we've got a good squad and some decent players that just can't play in this congested, chaotic football style. With decent tactics, I think we could do pretty well. My sentiments exactly. This squad is better than what got us out of the Championship.
Yes.
It's better. And they're performing worse. So, in my opinion...
It's better. Do you think that the team that we've got now is better than the team that we played last year under Bielsa?
Overall,
take into account the massive of injuries that we had. Consider them as fit players. Do you think this squad is better than the squad we had last year, inclusive a bit of Phillips and Rafinha?
Yeah.
Overall.
So, yeah.
Overall, yeah.
Would you? Would you think no?
I'd say no, on the basis that Dallas comes back into the side if he's fit.
Yeah.
Calvin plays.
Yeah, Rafinha, but we don't have those players, so like.
No. He's saying if everybody's
Bielsa,
if everybody from last season was fit, and you would be picking those players.
Yeah.
So, and so Adam, I think you'd end up with a combined 11 because Adams plays every game he's fit for me.
Absolutely.
Regardless, last season, this season, 3 seasons time, if we've still got him, fingers crossed we do. I think he's wonderful. I really do, and I think
imagine
he is
the turnovers completed with Phillips and Adams. Playing together, that'd be unreal.
Now, I did see a surprising stat around progressive yards made from a passing midfielder. Rocker was 4th in the league in that, which did surprise me a little. But Calvin's got that in his game and other stuff. Now, the reason that I was really surprised is not because I don't think Rocker's got the passing range, but because largely when he's got the ball, he's got nobody to fucking pass to because there's no fucking width on pitch.
That's crazy. Isn't
so, I think there's pluses and minuses with this squad against last season's squad that started the season. But ultimately, I don't really think it matters because last season we started with Bielsa and this season we started with Marsch.
Do you think
it's like a bit of an hangover sort of thing in it because like before Bielsa, there were all the good bits. And he had a lot of goodwill in the bank and all that sort of stuff. But with Marsch, there is no good bits before. It's just shit. It's like being at the bad part of Bielsa's tenure again. But it has been like this for the year.
You watch it?
We got some of them dodgy
porn comments in the.
Saying, have you been on them websites again, Smarty?
I thought Alison was meant to be our mediator here.
Mega 69mega.com. Sign up.
Please don't. Please don't do that. These are not the views of the podcast.
I don't get paid for that, Smarty. Don't give them a shit.
You never know. You might enjoy yourself. Crack on, lads and ladies. I don't know if you chaps have seen it. There's been a lot of stuff going around today with quotes from Marsch and all sorts of stuff. But one thing that I did latch onto, and I think it's something that you shared in the group, I shared it in the group because it was one of our mutual friends. Sorry, it was one of our mutual friends on Twitter that had shared it, and I shared it with you guys and say, get a load of this, have a read of it. It's pretty full on, and it's an article from a girl called Megan Swanick, who's a journalist over in the United States, and it's on Jesse Marsch when he was speaking to the United Soccer Coaches Convention in Philadelphia over Christmas. And if you haven't read it, you should do because there's some absolute belting quotes from there. It's unreal. Honestly, some absolute belters. Like the last week when I was saying that I'd rather lose. I don't mind losing more games if it makes us go in the right direction and all that sort of shit. His fucking philosophy is just properly out there.
If you haven't read it, Jesse,
it's crazy. So the initial takeover from Bielsa and the Premier League itself. I mean, he even mentions the fans. I've got something on the fans actually. I've saved it to Brand. You want to listen to this? Look. There's also mob mentality in the stadiums, and I've learned that even how we design match plans and how we even play at home, it's very important to make sure that we're using the energy of our crowd and to benefit us and not to challenge us. But there's been some times at halftime when I've said to the team, right now, forget the crowd, brave. Don't let them sway into having negative thoughts, into being more passive and to be more fearful. Make sure that we stay strong with each other. It's just the whole philosophy is this fucking mind-blowingly positive thing. There's nothing on tactics. It's all positive mental attitude. And you're hearing now, in fact, there were interesting extract in there that he said, he's had a performance right at the beginning of his time at Leeds, saying that the players are quite happy with you and everything's, bubbling along nicely and all that sort of stuff. And Jesse apparently turned around to him and said, give it 6 months and it'll change. We'll have different challenges because those players, because he has this revolving door, open door policy where people are, are allowed to speak their minds, are allowed to have their opinions and stuff like that. Players will challenge our systems. And lo and behold, 6 months later in September, it stated that a couple of players suggested doing something differently and that he had to now manage we're not allowed to do this. We've got to do it this way, this, that, and the other. And it just goes to show, remember when he was talking about Llorente and his freestyling football? It's all around that kind of time. So is he starting to lose the dressing room?
I need someone to make a gif of him when he's doing one of his Cruyff turns and losing the ball to that freestyler song.
This is exactly it. This is where he's going off on.
Losing it.
A couple of players challenging him, saying, "Is there any? Can we do something different? Can we try different things?" And I'll share. What I'll do is that once the podcast is finished, I'll retweet it off the channel and let you all have a look. It's free to read. Have a good read because you do kind of feel a little bit sorry for him in some way because I think we all agree that he is a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's just fucking inept and he's just no good at his job from what we can see.
He is a nice guy. Absolutely. He's a really nice guy. So I responded to Jason on something earlier on this evening with those who can't do and those who can't teach. And he would make a wonderful teacher. And I genuinely believe that he would make a wonderful teacher. I think he'd be brilliant at that job.
Very good speaker.
He's just not good at being a football manager, or at least not in the Premier League.
Do you think there's any substance to the rumours going around now that some of the players have approached the board and asked them to sack him?
I don't think we'd know about it if they had.
I don't think there's any truth in that.
No, I think there's enough players that he's signed now in that squad to quash anything like that.
I don't. Yeah, I still think even though he's signed some of the players that he's previously managed and all that, they're not going to want to look bad playing in a system that's not working either. Like, so to say that, he's got players in now that know him and they won't do that, they can turn as quick as they fucking want. Like, there's no, like, if they feel they're being hampered career-wise by the way he's playing football and by what they're producing and stuff, players will turn. There's no doubt about it. Like, they can't. I think it would be very naive of him to think that the players coming in that he's worked with already won't turn, because a professional footballer doesn't want to be in a team that's losing constantly. They don't want to be in a team that's booed.
And it's a limited lifespan.
Losing his shit.
Yeah.
Hello, John.
Hi, John. Welcome along.
Thanks for joining us.
But I mean, you are right. It's a limited lifespan as a footballer. You do not want to spend your time as a top-level footballer losing all your games.
Yeah.
Of course you don't. You just feel like shit all the time, be frustrated. I mean, I get angry enough losing on Football Manager. I dread to think what it's like when you lose it every day for a job.
I would like to see you, watch along. We had this conversation. I really would. I really would. Especially if we're getting tonked.
Just wind him up and watch him.
I really would. That would be gold.
No, because I can't contain myself. I get really upset.
That's what I'm banking on.
That would be an ordinal bitter episode.
I don't need to.
Maybe we should. That's what we should call
any
it.
more material to use on me. It'd be like this is an Autono Bitter special, and I'd just be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Remember that All Leeds TV with that guy kicking off when we're getting dicked by the score? We'll have our own version of you going, "Back up, back up."
You would. That is pretty much what you would get.
Close your laptop.
Right then, it's done.
One of cats
doing it
from behind him and shut his
laptop. What the fuck are you doing? It's just
Anyway.
Cats run out of room. Cats fuck off.
Just to rewind. I can't. No, it's gone. I can't even remember the point. I was going to make a point about some of this mice. I can't even remember what it was now. It's fine. Move on.
So about Ollie's TV. Anyway,
it will well before that.
We won't dwell on it too much, but you want him. We all want him to do well collectively. I think we'll try and stop with the Marsch bashing for now. I'm sure it'll continue on Sunday when we get dicked.
Me and Jay on BNC on Sunday.
Yeah, you and Jay on
BNC. Carl. I can't wait.
But yeah, we'll try and gloss over that. We hope you do well, Jesse, but it's time for you to piss off. Now, tomorrow night, we've got Cardiff visiting for us. I wonder if we'll get 3 points, lads. Fnar, chortle.
Snarf.
Have we seen who's going to be managing them yet?
No.
Because I did see that Colin had been linked with the job.
Did see that. One more job, Maureen.
Sharon.
Is it Sharon?
Sharon.
All right, Sharon. All right.
Great bunch of lads, Sharon.
Great bunch of lads, But yeah, Cardiff. Cardiff lads.
Yeah.
Are we going to field a proper team? Are we going to field a team of youth? What would you do if you were in charge? Do you want to go on a bit of a cup run, or do you want to concentrate on the league? And we might as well have a go because in for a penny, in for a pound, and all that sort of stuff.
Honestly, after last week's first half performance, if he doesn't play a strong team and win, he's going to get fucking hammered. I know it's only the FA Cup and we need to concentrate in the league and this and that, But that first half against Cardiff was absolutely shocking. And
Bandy says we must not stop Marsch bashing.
I'm surprised. I hadn't seen Bandy call him a fish-eyed fool yet.
No, he has.
that's
Not only did he call him that, but the comment was, "It will not be long until you boys sing the song with me. The man is a fish-eyed fool."
Can you send us the
Missed
lyrics,
that one.
Bandy?
Yeah, it's pointless you giving us little snippets. We need a full, proper lyric sheet and everything.
We need it all.
You can do an official song for us.
yeah, I think we should. What's Kev Marson? I hope Lampard survives this season. He's doing a sterling job.
There was actually a question that I popped up before, but we were still on the other subject. Michael Brown asked, "Who will be the first to go? Marsch, Lampard, Moyes, or Rodgers?"
I think it's
I
between
reckon
Marsch and
Moyes.
Lampard.
I don't think Lampard will get sacked because I think
I
that
don't.
his payoff will push him over FFP.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because
But they could
Chansiri
stagger
was out
those
last week,
payments.
wasn't he?
Although
He
he
was
might
out
get
last
chased
week
out of
saying-
Everton by all them
Not
screaming.
Chansiri, is it?
Not
Not
Chansiri.
Chansiri at Leicester.
Is it
Mashiri or something like that.
Chansiri's Sheffield
Yeah.
Wednesday, wasn't it?
Mashiri, I meant.
What? Oh yeah, it's
at
on their
least-
shirts, isn't it?
At least I pronounced it right, even though I wrote wrong guy. But he said, "Oh, you've got to give him time to get it right." He only said that last week or a few days ago, or something. So to me, that says
but-
they can't afford to sack him. Why else?
But isn't
would
that
you
akin
keep
to
him?
the dreaded vote of no confidence, and then you lose one more game and get sacked?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
I didn't take it that way, no. But
No, but you could. It could be read that way, couldn't it?
it
Rans
could be,
hasn't
yeah.
come out and backed Jesse yet, so he's
News
you've got to-
News has said Smarty taking Jesse out of context twice. No wonder we have so much negativity into the fan base. Mate,
Negative smarty.
you're new here.
Negative
I think
bastard.
the reason why there's so much negativity within the fan base is because he don't know what he's fucking doing, and the football is dog shit. So unless we're a load of idiots, if you call us a load of idiots and we don't know what we're looking at, then you crack on, fella.
Hang on a minute. I've just seen another comment by the same guy. It's crazy. Jesse starts winning and then he will be a tactical genius. He absolutely will not. He will never be a tactical genius. Just to go back to one of the comments that were made earlier around the chaos.
Thanks for popping along, Noose, but
That's
you're
all of
new
it.
here, clearly. And we will bring you down to our level in no time at all. I can guarantee you that one.
That's the entirety of Marsch's tactics is let's just cause chaos and just see what happens.
Let's win the ball back as
Let's
soon as we
shit out.
fucking lose it.
Bang it in
Let's
shit
shit house
box.
a win. Yeah.
Like I made a point on Twitter there after the first FA Cup games, and I know it's only been 3 games, but 2 of them have been in the league, and one of them was an FA Cup. Southampton have got rid of Red Bull football, and they've already won 3 games on the bounce. Now I'm not saying that your man down there, what's his face, short arse Jones, is it Nathan Jones? I'm not saying he's a tactical genius
The God
now
Rod.
by any means.
He of the God Rod.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a tactical genius by any means, but 3 wins on the bounce and it's not red football. That's all I'm saying.
I just think Kev's comment here. Lampard in. I want to see how fat his head can get on those pictures flying around on Twitter. Absolutely.
Absolutely, I love it.
There's still more to go, I think.
Absolutely,
To go back to the question asked, I think that if he puts out a strong side and we win, that will buy him a couple more games in the league. So I think it would be potentially career suicide or at least job suicide if he put out kids and we got beat. If he puts out the strongest 11 available to him and we get beat off a fluke goal and we played quite well, so be it. But if he puts out kids and we get beat, that's going to be really tough for him to
It's
to
an
get
hard
away
one,
with.
isn't it, though? Because he can't sort of risk everything on it when we've got important league games. But at the same time, what you say is completely right. He's got to put on a strong showing to stand any chance of sort
It's
of.
amazing what a
earning
win does
himself
for
a bit more
confidence,
time.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it really is.
know.
And do you
Even
know
if
what?
it is against the Cardiff,
That
How
World
long
Cup
has it
break
been?
couldn't come at a worse time for us.
You know, you look at I mean that is true, and I hate the fact that we had a break at all. But you get past Cardiff and you're playing Accrington or Boreham Wood.
Barrow. Or is it Boreham Wood, is it?
Boreham Wood,
There's one or other in it.
who were the lowest ranked side left in the competition because they were before the replays.
It's a banana skin you don't want. That.
So, well, it is, but at the same time, that's a hell of an opportunity to go deeper into this cup than we have done for
it
years.
is, yeah. It is.
Yeah.
Since the 90s, isn't it? I think.
Wouldn't it be fucking awesome to see Wembley full of Leeds fans?
Oh,
Well,
don't get a fucking head of yourself
let's not
here.
get carried away with it.
Calm down.
Jesus
But
Christ.
there is genuinely an opportunity here. We are favourites in both games, which doesn't always go in our favour. I appreciate that, but we're favourites in both games. There's genuinely an opportunity to get later in the competition than we have done for a long, long time. And I think that if you get to a quarter-final or a semi-final and scrape survival, fans will be a lot more forgiving with that than if you scrape survival and get smashed by Cardiff at home. So I think, to answer the question, I think he'll put out I think he'll put out a pretty strong side.
I think he
I'd
needs
love to
to.
ram it down.
make his
I'd love to
debut
ram it down other fans for
No,
from
he
other
can't.
clubs
He's not
that
eligible
we've,
for game.
Oh, of course, because he's not played beforehand. That's right. Yeah. So
He
we'd
wasn't
love to
registered
ram it
in
down
first.
against, Brentford.
I'm going to say it. I'd love to ram it
Go on,
down
Jim.
other fans' throats that we've won a trophy far more recently than they have as well. If we could win the cup, it'd just be amazing. We could dine on
Newcastle,
that for absolutely
Spurs.
years.
More
It'd be
trophies than
fucking
Spurs.
glorious.
As long as we don't do a Wigan, I'm happy. I'll be happy.
Yeah, I know.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, we win. Yeah, but we're going down. Sound.
Oh,
At least
Do
we
you-
got a trophy.
do you
Maybe
think?
that's the curse of Joe Geldart?
Do you think if we win tomorrow night and we draw on Sunday, do you think does he keep his job?
Yeah.
I don't
Probably.
think anybody expects us to draw at weekend. I think that would be more positive than a lot of people think.
I think so.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so what? Like,
No,
another point I want to
comments
make
about
is
Gilly.
I don't
If-
have lots of-
if we lose, does that mean he's gone?
If we lose against
Um,
Cardiff, I think it depends how badly we lose. If we went there and got done 4-0 or something, you know, I'm not sure he survives that. But on the other hand, they really, really, really want an American coach, don't they, the 49ers, clearly. And I just don't know. I don't know if anything would lose him his job. I feel like it should, but I don't know if it will.
There's got to come
Yeah.
a point, hasn't there? Jesus. You can't.
Stubborn, aren't they?
I'm sure that they will do whatever they can to keep him in his job because it would be massively egg on face time for the board if they were to keep him on. And they were to take us down because it just proves so much that about him as a coach, as them as a board. You know, it's a disastrous cocktail waiting to happen in it, I suppose. So there needs to come to a point where I just think, right. I mean, you think back to Newcastle last year; they were really in the doldrums last year. Howe came in, has completely transformed that team. Yes,
And to be
they've had a bit of
fair,
money spent,
he got
but
them
the
going
manager-
before they bought loads of players.
Yeah, he did.
Exactly, and
Coaching.
that proves a
Gotta
lot.
give
A
that to
coach
him.
in, and it makes big changes.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing, isn't it?
I'm a big fan
Yeah.
of coaching. Oh shit!
Our new friend News has said if he does not get 69 points in the next 5 games, I'll bash Jesse in the balls as well.
The problem is,
There you go.
the problem
Take
is-
that on to us.
the issue is we had an absolutely wonderful chance to bring in a different coach and give them just short of 2/3 of a season and all of January to sign who they wanted. And clearly we had money to do it. So
Yeah.
we've absolutely thrown away an opportunity to do it in a managed fashion. And that was my point I was making about what happened with Bielsa. If you're going to get rid of Bielsa, you do it at Christmas and you give somebody a January to have a go at it. Just to go back to your point, Smarty, I think they will do everything they can to keep Marsch in a job because Orta made it very, very clear that he was the man that they've been looking at for 2 years and he was always the long-term successor for Bielsa. That is absolute craziness. So they don't want to sack him because of that, egg on face. They also don't want to sack him because he's not doing well enough, because that would be an admission. But the impossible has happened and we're in a relegation battle. So they will do all they can to keep him in that job.
I agree, 100%. And the 49ers clearly have this sort of dream marketing scenario where they own this Premier League club and they've got a fucking American manager and American international players and they want to keep that. That's really important to them. But there's got to be a tipping point where this marketing scenario is not worth as much as staying in the Premier League, surely.
Shelley's there asking if the 49ers would want to keep Jesse with the imminent takeover. I think they might be behind the fact that he's still there.
They've got to be.
An American investment group and an American coach. They would love for that to work out. You know, the marketing that they're going to be able to do in America.
Here's the
I mean,
thought.
I mean, it's
just say
great,
that.
like you say.
What
just
if
From a
say
commercial
that, but,
aspect,
you know.
it's wonderful.
Whoa!
Having an American,
One voice.
What the hell? Having an American coach, having American players, having an American owner, it's very stars and stripes, and it's great. I don't mind. I'm all for it.
Go
If it works.
Sports!
And it doesn't work. It isn't working under him. I don't rate Aronson at the minute. I think he's gone way off the boil. I don't know too much about the 49ers, but I'm sure time will tell. Marsch can get fucking straight in the bin. Tyler Adams is the unsung hero. He's like a little halo on our team at the minute. I love Tyler Adams. He's the best footballer that we've had through that door for at least 6 months.
So I think just to address your point on the 49ers there and not knowing too much about them is I don't think we need to, because they are an investment group.
It's part
They
of the
are
York
purely
family,
there.
isn't it?
Pardon?
The York family. They're
There's a few of them.
absolutely linked, isn't it? Yeah.
Because the Loweys are part of it as well. So there are multiple multi-billionaires in that investment group, but an investment group exists for one purpose and one purpose only, and that's to make money.
Yeah.
Now that means that they're going to want us to stay in the Premier League because that's where the money is. But then they're not in it for us; they're in it for themselves.
That's what I was going to ask there as well. Before you started making your point, Gilly, was what if people sort of get to the point now where fans are just fucking sick of sitting in the stadium going, I'm not watching that shite. He needs to go, this and that. Are they going to pull the trigger when they see that it's affecting the revenue? That it's affecting the crowd?
No, because match day revenue isn't where all the money comes from.
No, I know,
you look at the revenues that they're going to grow. They're going to... but it's not. Not when you look at the TV revenues. Yeah. When you look at the TV revenues and the broadcast rights and what they will be able to sell as a going concern in America, it's not even a drop in the ocean in terms of match day revenues through the turnstiles. It's just not. We live in a different world. The hospitality stuff is massive because they want people to travel. They want people to come from all over the world, and they want to sell them the hospitality. And they're going to come as a one-off, and they're going to buy shit from shop. And when was the last time you went to shop on a match day?
They'll be doing packages to fly to Leeds from San Francisco and stuff.
And it'll be soulless like Liverpool.
Yeah. Big time. They'll be doing all sorts of shit like
that. I think it's really, really. Alison said Lowry there. I wonder if she means Lowy, as in
Lowry
Peter Lowy.
No, Lowry. It's Lowry, isn't it?
Who's Lowry?
Peter Lowry.
Mac Lowry.
No, Lowy.
Is it? Are you sure?
I am aware of Mike Lowry.
Mac Lowry.
What am I, the designated homeless?
Dear witnesses, don't talk, Mike.
Right. So to bring us back, so it is low LOWY. I'm reasonably confident of it.
Noose. We've got another comment from Noose. He must be a Yank. Americans are looking to truly get behind a team. Besides top 8, love the culture shit Leeds and here. New York, take my ears and no ears. It's only banter, mate. We're not. It's
a bit of crack.
It's difficult for us from our perspective because we've had such a good, successful couple of years under. Dare we say it? We need a little ding Bielsa bell. Under Bielsa, it was magical and wonderful, and everyone was great, and we were all holding hands and singing songs, and it was fantastic. And then our bubble burst. And this is the kind of shit that I'm used to, living under a little dark rock, being miserable, supporting Leeds, because that's what I'm used to. Take the Bielsa years out, this is what I'm used to, and I'm sure the chaps will probably agree. So, we don't want to be negative.
We're not the only people
given the current circumstances.
But we're not the only top-flight English club to have had Americans involved in owning a club.
I'll just say quickly, Gilly, you were correct.
Of course I was.
Explain yourself.
You sound surprised.
I am surprised.
FSG on Liverpool.
Randy Lerner.
Lerner at Arsenal. So they're not. It's not the first time that we've had Americans involved in running a club.
Who was that guy at Villa? Wasn't that Lerner? Or was he Arsenal?
Oh, there's a different
guy. I don't
know. Oh, fuck knows.
We're going to have to shoot across to the upcoming Brentford game as well, guys, because we're digressing.
Just
slightly.
Before we do that, fair enough. Just before we do that, we've had one of the ladies that plays for Leeds United has had a really bad break recently. So Rebecca Bass has torn her ACL. and their MCL and done a meniscus. So that's going to be a hell of a road of recovery. So hope she's all right, and fingers crossed for full recovery for her.
Recovery.
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely.
That's a shame. You don't like hearing about players getting injuries like that. Certainly not. So all the best from all of us at OKB. We've got Brentford on Sunday at home. Now, we've talked a lot about Marsch and his potential guillotine game for him. Whether we think it is or whether we don't, time will tell. How do we set up against Brentford? Obviously, it's going to be pretty much the same. Do we see Ruter? Do we see some sort of tactical changes up front? I know Somerville's out for 4 weeks. What sort of starting lineup would you play? Who would you play in what positions? Do we keep Stroik at left back? Do we shift him out? Do we give him a rest? Do we bring Verber in? What are your ideas, gents? What are you thinking?
I think the game against Cardiff has rattled poor old Stroik a bit. I'd like to see him maybe taken out of the firing line just for this game.
What about Aronson?
Start with Cooper and Cock in the middle. Aronson.
We're waiting for that from Gilly.
Well, who are you going to put in there, Gilly? We've bought someone who can play left back, centre back, and clearly centre mid, but we bought him for left back, so we're not going to play him in the centre. So I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not. I don't.
I'd rather play you than Cock.
I'll be honest. Well, okay, yeah. Suggested to Jesse. God fucking knows he might take me on, I could maybe organise a little fucking better at the back, but
turn up with your boots and a can of Red Bull, Carl. With the sound.
Oh no, not Red Bull. Flashes of Jack Clark.
I think, take Stroik out of the firing line for this game. Take Aronson out. I think Aronson should come out for maybe a couple of games. With Ruter coming in, I think obviously he's not playing tomorrow night, but for Brentford, I think take Aronson out of the spotlight. Get him into the gym. We said it last week. He needs to hit the weights big time. Big time. He's far too lightweight to play in the position he's playing in to be knocked off the ball that easy. He's about a foot taller than Messi, and Messi never gets knocked off the ball. And they've both got the same kind of centre of gravity about them. They're small, they're quick, they're nippy. Putting a bit of weight on him isn't going to slow him down in any way at all. And it'll only make him better.
If you're a foot taller, Carl, you'd have quite a different centre of gravity.
I wasn't going to mention it.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Okay,
Jay,
a couple of inches then. A couple of inches. Whatever. My point, was that he needs to be taken out and put in the gym. Take him out for about 2 or 3 weeks and let Ruter settle in there, and then bring him back in when you feel he's kind of going, right, okay, I'm ready again. His mentality is out the fucking window.
Send him to Cobra Kai for a week.
I don't know, man. Back home, a mate of mine, his 2 daughters played football, and one of them wasn't hard enough, so he sent her boxing, and you want to see her now. She's tough as nails. Maybe we should do that to Aronson. Send him off boxing.
Punch him in the face a lot.
You don't want a player. You don't want a tricky player who's agile to do too much on the weight side here, because they'll lose agility for every bit of sort of muscle that they pack on. So there's a balance. I think he could afford a little bit more muscle.
Yeah,
but not too much. So. I think he'd
So,
still be all right.
Yeah, comment from Bandy. Let's remember, boys, Luis Sinisterra is now fit. I think there was a potential for him to be in a squad tomorrow night, but it's only potential. I think if he's on the bench tomorrow night, you'll definitely see him a little bit, if not from the start at the weekend, for me, because he's an important player to it. I personally think so. Shelley's followed that up from the players we already had, talking about Willie and Sidney playing. I think, and this might not be a popular view, I think Jackie did enough at the weekend to maintain a spot. I don't think right wing is his position. He definitely shouldn't be taking free kicks and corners. So take him off. But if you take away the issues he's got with set pieces, and even playing on the right, actually, I thought he did all right. Left wing's his position. I think Willie can do what Willie does anywhere in that attacking lineup. I think you can put him on the right without taking anything away from his game. But I think Jack Harrison needs to be on left.
I'd like to see him more central.
So if I'm playing Cine, I'm playing him in middle, because if you play him on right, He drifts into middle anyway. He's an inside forward.
Yeah.
He always drifts into middle, and then we end up a little bit unbalanced. So I'd play him through the middle. I'd put Willie on the right, and I'd put Jackie on the left. If everybody's fit, and if Sinister is ready for a game and what have you, we don't know what position he's going to be in terms of sharpness and fitness.
I can't see him just coming straight back and starting.
No, I can't either. But if he gets a little bit of time tomorrow and looks sharp enough, you might see him for a bit longer. You might see him from start. It depends on how he's training, how he's doing. But the point I was making is I think Jack Harrison did enough to retain his spot.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that. I don't think Bamford will start either. I think it's too soon for him. I mean, did he not say... Somebody said to me, I don't know if I've imagined this or not, but somebody said Jesse and him were arguing on the bench on the Villa game, and he was saying, I'm not fit.
Right.
But I don't know if they just fucking didn't know what they were talking about or what.
You don't know who to believe about. There's that many accounts that come up with some right bullshit,
I'll tell you what, though. Coming back and getting a goal straight away, and all of us thinking, he's finished. He's finished. There's no fucking Bamford left. He's finished. We'll never see him again. And that run that he had before he got injured again, and he didn't score fuck all, and we're all like, yeah, whatever. Imagine him just coming back now and just like scoring all the fucking goals and
going, fuck you, Jay. Fuck you, Jay.
We'll be sat here like.
I hope he does.
But look at the similar goal. Look at the goal that he got against Villa. That was very much a get to the byline.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
back
about.
Goal.
He's learned from Brentford, don't he? He didn't over-celebrate like he did against Brentford.
It was a proper striker's goal, a proper striker in the right place, and he fucking put it away. And because he didn't have time to think about it, which is always his undoing, he put it away.
I agree with it to a point. We're all great. Well, we all think it's great that Bamford's fit and firing, hopefully again and stuff like that. But it's because it's so inconsistent and he's been broken for the last 18 months. Everyone, again, Marsch would love to see Bamford come back and start scoring goals left, right, and centre. But we just know 100% that is not going to be the case, and we cannot risk having him, being our main focal point up front, and for him potentially to get broken, or for him to go.
You can't rely
in another dry run again. You know what I mean?
And you absolutely cannot drop Rodrigo for him, can you? Because he's in a rich,
not in his form.
He's in a rich goal scoring form. You cannot go, thanks for all those goals that you scored, but we're going to drop you now and we're going to play Bamford instead. Bamford gets cropped, but you've ruined
down. You've done your bit. You've had your fun.
Gilly, don't take that shit off him.
Who's he talking to?
Don't let him talk to you like that. A fucking prick.
He won't even try talking to me like that.
I won't do that to Gilly.
Sit down, red card, sit down.
Shut up. It's say something clever and make me look silly again. So.
I am sat down. What do you lads think about Jammer walking around Cardiff Stadium and applauding their fans? I make nothing of it at all. They were on loan there and he's quite a popular player. I'm fine with it.
He won their player of the season.
He probably thought he was staying there and didn't say goodbye when he left. I don't care. He had a good time there. Good on him. Whatever.
Yeah.
Cheers, Carl. I love how random Carl is in the comments. Let me just show you this whilst we were talking.
Not me.
Carl were there. No, not you. Carl. His comments gone. Oh no, here he is. Just random. Fulham.
Yeah, same.
And that's it. I love that shit. I love random stuff like that. I think it's great. Cheers, Carl.
Here's one for you then. So we're talking about Jackie potentially having done enough to retain his spot, we think. I think Jay and Smarty both agreed. Carl, you clearly hate him. I'm absolutely taking him off free kicks and corners. And I don't want Arrington on him either. I'm not saying that. For me, it's Rocker. He's got a dynamite delivery. If Sam Greenwood's not on the pitch, for me, it's Rocker.
Yeah.
Who would you guys put him on? Put on?
Can't argue with that.
I think Greenwood or Rocker, depending on who.
Yeah. If Greenwood's not on the pitch, I think it's really clear. If Greenwood's on the pitch, he takes whatever's going. And his delivery is good enough for that. I've got no issue with that. But he doesn't start every game. No, Rocker seems to be starting just about every game, and for me, I think his deliveries are really good.
I don't hate fucking Harrison. All right.
I will just say
that way Alien saying he would over the hill, and now it's Harrison.
Oh, God.
I didn't say.
And Dallas
going to land next.
It's Dallas.
Harrison. Oh, here.
I will just
you
say.
You said Dallas and Alien were over the hill.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. But I didn't say anything about Harrison. Fuck's sake! What's this Gail Platt shite?
You just accepted that was you.
I'm actually comfortable with having hair. It's not my fault you fuckers don't.
I love how he
I mean,
Don't include me in that.
I don't even get the girl thing anyway. I think you look more like Audrey. Told you that.
Fucking hellfire.
Fucking Audrey.
I was just going to say, though, going back to the thing we were talking about with the corners and free kicks, I think whoever's marking the near post whenever they play against Leeds should get concussion tested after. Because the amount of fucking times that they get a ball booted straight into their head is unreal.
Straight in the face. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one.
In the mush.
I mean,
Straight
I
in the-
could take a corner better than that, and I'm fucking useless at anything sporting related.
I've seen you
You
play
know,
football.
you guys have
yeah.
seen, yeah.
Just anything.
I agree. Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's just stretch for anything, Gilly. But yeah, I mean, I can boot a ball into an area over the top of a bloke's fucking head. Why can't a professional footballer do that?
Yeah.
It blows my mind.
It's
I mean,
just
we all know,
bizarre.
and I'm sure you'll all vouch for me how sweet my left foot is.
Oh yeah.
But,
How about that?
it just blows my mind that I mean, unless they're specifically told to go for near post, which I know that they used to do under Bielsa because Aiden used to fly in.
Hey, up,
Luke.
Luke's walking up.
For those of you who won't know, watching Jay play football is like when Boris Johnson played football. and he were like running and falling.
It was a little bit like that, yeah.
Bit of a rugby tackle to put the ball out for a throw in.
In all fairness, I used to be fit and I could play, but when we played, I'd not run for about a year. I don't think.
It's all right, just stop talking, Jay.
He looked like he got his PE kit from Lost and Found box and couldn't fucking stop himself.
It were ace. It's one of them.
Dwarves are not made for running, are they, Gimli?
Oh yeah, that's right, mate. Yeah. It's one of them where you get there and you're all pumped up, ready to play. And you do your first sprint, and you're like, "Fucking hell!" Maybe I shouldn't.
I do remember you came and gave me a hug and said, "Thanks for coming" after the first game.
Because you came and sucked on, yeah. Oh,
Coming, I don't
I've
know
never
what
been
to take.
so happy to see you, Gilly. Probably never will be again.
Gilly with his chocolate knee, like, you know what I mean? Thanks for coming, cripple.
At least he's got some form of cardio conditioning, which I didn't have.
Oh, chaps, I've seen a few people in the comments talking about Joffrey is potentially going on loan. Would you welcome him going on loan? You know, for the rest of the season. If so, where would you
probably
like to
would
see him
now.
go?
We've just spent loads of money on somebody that's going to play in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Bamford's maybe going to be back. Rodrigo's scoring goals. You're not going to drop him. That makes him fourth choice if you don't even include any other young ones that have actually been playing really, really well. Joseph came in, did himself no harm. So, yeah, I probably would, depending on where he went. He needs minutes. He needs minutes.
Swansea.
I'd rather
Swansea
see him
can go and get shagged.
I'd rather see him go on loan and play first team football somewhere and develop than get sold because
absolutely.
he's getting bored and
Give it back to
frustrated.
Wigan. We absolutely had the pants down for him. We might as well give him back and give them a little bit of a boost, don't we? There you go.
Well, the other thing is as well, wasn't there talk of Blackburn playing there? It'd be good to see him maybe linking up
Yes,
with
it was, yeah.
Diaz and
Pavetta.
Bradley Dack. That could be... No, he's at Blackpool.
Conor Pavada's at Blackpool, isn't he?
Yeah. By all accounts, had a great game in the FA Cup there against Forest. I watched it.
Goal and an assist, was it?
Yeah.
As
Very well.
As long as they're going to play him regular, it's no point sending him somewhere to be back up to someone else.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We've already
would
seen
be
that
there.
with Cresswell, aren't we? Because he's not playing
Yeah.
as much as.
He's coming
Manchester.
back apparently, isn't he?
There was a potential of
rumours
us
would have it.
calling him to sending him back out again, but
Yeah.
he was linked with Swansea and you were like that.
I saw people saying get him back and bang him in team, but he's just not ready to get put in a relegation fight in a shit team.
Do you know what? Do you know what? He played against, I want to say West Ham,
It was West Ham.
and he played
Antonio.
really well.
Yeah, it was.
He
fucking
played really
amazing
well in that game.
He bossed Antonio in that game.
I think the issue that you've got is you cannot expect a young player like that to do it every week. It's what we were saying about Nonto. You know, we're becoming reliant on the youth players that are in the squad, like Jimmy, like Willie. It's difficult.
Have you seen this? Oh no, not this one.
Not that
Have
one.
you seen this? Have you seen
Oh,
Here,
It's
look,
always-
I've heard
always
some
someone
bad
goes
takes.
too far.
I'd rather we recalled Helder Costa than buy Helder Costa on steroids for 30 or 40 million pounds or whatever Wolves want for him.
Baby oil.
I'd rather have a bath with Jay than get Elder Costa
Oh,
back in our
Carl's
team.
at it again.
There's worse places to be, mate.
I never knew it was possible to have Tourette's over typing. American honours! Fulham!
I like bags! What? All right, Carl. Bless him.
Back to the subject at hand and Brentford. It does appear as though Ivan Toney is available. I think he returned from injury against, I want to say, Bournemouth.
He did. As well.
Mm-hmm.
Played in the game, and it doesn't look as though any band's going to kick in before our game. So probably available, and they're an absolutely 100% different side with him in it.
Is that like Thomas Tuchel and his band that didn't kick in?
Yeah, and
like
Klopp.
Yeah,
And Klopp, yeah.
I've got a great omen for you though, lads, for this game. So when we stayed up against Brentford, it was when I was going on holiday with my mate from Hull, and there were two of his mates going. I'd never met them before. I was in the hotel bar with these Hull lads, and I'm fucking watching Leeds.
Didn't you try doing the pod with us from there?
Yeah, I did, and it was just horrendous. But we got on eventually. We got on. I think it was the most drunk pod I've ever done, actually. And I was fucking jumping around going mad. So on the Saturday, this weekend, I'm off to see them lads again for a night out. And I've not seen them since that holiday. And I didn't know them before that holiday. And I'm off to see them again, and we're playing Brentford again. So
hopefully that's a good omen. Yeah.
If we win, it's down to me. You can thank
We're going to smash them 3-1.
We're going to fucking kill them, mate.
Is that what your prediction is going to be?
We're gonna do them.
Because that's the next bit.
Carl's gonna slide along pitch like Rafinha, fucking on his knees.
Or Willem
like
Dafoe.
this. Right, Carl.
Willem Dafoe, aka the Green Goblin's going to slide on his knees. So, chaps, give me some predictions for the Brentford game then. We'll go around.
Auto no better predictions.
You're welcome.
There, you fucker, aren't you?
Yeah.
When you want it, it's not there. When you're not expecting it, it's like like it was when we started this, and I'm there tippity typing on my little keyboard. And half of us chuffy watchers are looking at my nostrils. Anyway, so predictions. Jay,
Scene right down your throat, mate.
What is the result against Brentford going to be on Sunday?
3-0 Leeds. We're gonna tear them a new one. And they're just going to be like, what the fuck's gone on?
You smoking crack?
He's so vanilla. He daren't actually give an honest.
No, I'm telling you, it's a good omen.
He daren't do it.
Smarty.
We're going to beat Brentford.
One result is going to turn that when somebody gets it the other way, dead on.
If we beat Leeds, if we beat Brentford,
I would love it if we beat Leeds.
I would love to beat them.
Listen,
if we beat
last
Brentford,
time,
I'll buy the same hat that you've got on.
All right, mate. They
You
stayed
buy
up
what?
last time. For God's sake, man. They stayed up last time when I went out with these lads and got pissed up. I'm off to see them again. Same match, same team. It's an omen, Smarty. I'm telling you, we're fucking winning. I know it doesn't make any
3-0.
sense. I know we don't fucking look like scoring 3-0 and keeping a clean sheet because we're fucking useless. And I don't know where it's coming from either. But I'm just going with it because it's
pouring out of you.
It's an omen. I'm taking it, man. I'm going with it.
Yeah.
I'll take out right now. It's stressful.
Fucking hell, Luke's gone 3-1 Leeds.
Leeds gone 3-1 to Leeds.
Yeah. Fucking
Carl.
hell, that's it. Fuck. Jesse, I go 2-2.
Desmond.
Yeah, I just think at this stage Jesse's a draw specialist now. Like so, even though we lost the last game, like
we've lost 2 and drawn 2 since coming back from this.
The only fucking time we ever seem to get a point lately is when he draws. So 2-2. What are you doing, Gilly?
3-2 Leeds.
Fuck me. Carl hates Leeds. I've not put us down to lose. Just so fucking people know what the crack
Am
is
I
here.
literally going to be the only one predicting a loss here? Is it down to me again?
Yeah, you dirty bastard.
Jesus fucking Christ. We are beating Brentford.
Gary Owens and Jay get their crack off the same person.
Gary,
Jay gets his cut with something.
Yeah.
Not quite as
I'm
bad for
gonna go,
Jay. I think he just gets it cut with something.
Bit of
Go
personal.
on,
I'm
Smart.
gonna go 2-1 Brentford. Ivan Toney penalty.
See, I think Ivan Toney's going to score a penalty to draw the game for Brentford. That's what I think.
I think if that
Yeah, that's
happens,
what I think.
Smarty, you should get on pitch and crack him like that Birmingham fan did to Grealish.
Let's boot him square in his back.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I mean, it'll be nice getting banned from Elland Road. You won't have to watch it anymore.
I don't know why I've never thought of this before.
But then they'll sack Marsch and Smarty
And
will be fucking banned.
I wouldn't actually have to go to Ellen Road to watch that
Exactly.
shit.
And you'd be like a cult hero.
Well, Spurs have been looking for the guy that did it, haven't they? And they've put out a message. They've put out a message asking for people to come forward for a lifetime ban. They've had 6,000 people come forward.
I didn't realise we were going in for a joke there.
It sounds
That made it
plausible
better.
because Spurs are the club that has signs up that say somebody next to you doing some racist chanting or sexist or homophobic stuff, whatever. Ring this number, text this number. So they want you to grass on people around you.
You don't grass on them, just shove the red
I
in.
prefer to just say to them, "Oi,
Yeah, absolutely.
fucking give it a rest, dickhead," and leave it at that.
Do stop oil and just throw orange paint on them. That's what we need.
Hang on, Smarty. What about the other
Glue
guy?
yourself to him.
I think Luke's looking for a bet off you.
Oh, is it? So Ivan Toney. Would it be? Oh no, does Pontus play?
He's right. He's
Pontus
writing this
Janssen header
down,
from the
isn't he,
corner.
Luke?
There you go. No, I wouldn't do it. I don't think so.
Pontus
I
header
don't
for a
know.
corner. Ivan Toney penalty. Who's scoring for Leeds?
Rodrigo.
There you go, Luke. You got your bet.
If that comes in, Jesus Christ.
I think a Rodrigo
never will
will.
do.
Rod William Paddy to score.
Rod?
You need to calm down, you mate. You need to calm down.
I've been getting
That
some of them
oxygen
mushrooms.
used to climb up
I've been getting
that
some of them
chair's clearly
mushrooms
gone
that
to your head.
Jesse's wife's been putting on his breakfasts. Talking the same shit that he is now.
Actually, Noose has made a good point here. Not that none of the others were good. Sorry. Welcome to the podcast for the first time and all of that.
Hello, newbie.
But this is a good point. Now, I did see this that Cooper is a doubt, so might not play. So it might be that Verber will slot in at centre back and Strike will keep going at left back on the principle that if Cooper's not available.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Verber in. It looks the real deal. Actually, it looks quite assured and quite strong. He's got an eye for a good pass as well, which has been sorely lacking of late.
Get him at left back.
At left back,
yeah.
I don't think he'll drop Strike himself.
Strike has
time
to go
will
back
tell.
inside. He had a bad game, but it was one game. Everyone's played shit at some point.
Yeah, but it was against Cardiff, who were 21st in the Championship.
I don't care. I like to think he was just rusty, and maybe the armband blew his mind a little bit.
Maybe. Yeah,
No.
maybe.
I think there'll be some sort of reverse psychology with it all. They're not going to rest him against a team that he had a shitter against. They'll probably say, "Right, get out there and show us what you can frigging do."
Like we did, like we were saying that they did. That I felt that they did at half time. Ali McCoy's made the point. Is you give players that have got themselves into a hole in the first half an opportunity to get themselves out of it before you make changes. We made changes on 55 minutes, so he gave them 10 minutes. Right, go on, go show me that you can do all about it. They didn't. 10 minutes, he started making changes, and it made a difference. Rodrigo came on, and he genuinely made a big difference.
Yeah,
he should do. It cost £30 million.
Do you think that'll be hanging over his head as much now we've signed a Rutter for a little bit more?
Well,
have that price
so I don't think it is a bit more, is it? I think it's a bit less, but potential to rise a lot more. So I think I saw something like it with 24 million euros potentially rising to 40.
Has he got it on
But if
Klarna,
that's us winning the if that's us winning the Champions League, then we're probably reasonably safe that we're not going to spend 40 on him.
It's fucking good business for them, though, isn't it? Didn't they pay 700,000 for him?
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
don't exaggerate. It was 750,000.
Oh, what's 50 grand?
Don't undersell it, Jay.
Same difference.
Yeah, but we got Luke Ayling for pretty much similar sort of price, and they were phenomenal for us.
Lest we forget, up all night for Luke Murphy, the £1 million man.
Yeah. That's right. And we all were told, he's a promising up-and-coming young player. He's really good.
Here's a stat for us. An interesting one at that. We haven't conceded with Verber on the field.
Yeah, because he's only played about 10 minutes.
Really, Jay?
I think that was the idea behind the fucking comment.
I don't think it was, mate. I think it was a serious point. I stand by this.
Come on, Smarty.
I'm going to close this out now because we're rabbling on a bit. Has anyone got any ought to know bitters?
Yes.
Oh, you're fucking serious at this.
Play that tune.
Ought to know bitter with Rachel Adedeji.
I usually cut that bit off at end.
Do you want to go first, Jay?
No, I need a moment to compose myself.
Okay. Yeah. Fuck Newcastle. Fuck them in the ass dry. The bastards. So we're in a position where, you know, they've kind of, as a club, they've absolutely sold their soul. You know, we all appreciate that. They're owned by a rank state that has all sorts of human rights violations and whatever else is going on. So they've already sold the soul as a club. And then you have them playing poxy football, effective football, but poxy football, like getting into our half and diving so they can get a free kick and aim it into some giants in Middle Park. Shit football. Sean Dyche wouldn't do that. That's purely sport. They can fuck off. They can get in bin. But do you know what really, really, really pissed me off? Is playing somebody that's just been found guilty of drink driving. It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that.
100%.
Joe Linton, guilty, not even accused, guilty of drink driving, not a thing. Played him. It's disgusting. It absolutely turns my stomach.
Do you know what, Gilly? That night there were Newcastle fans coming on TalkSport. I listened to it late on the sports bar.
Do that accent, Jay. Do that accent, Jay. Go on.
I can't, mate. If I do it off the cuff, it's fine. But if I think about it, I just end up sounding like a cross between Newcastle and Indian. But they were all fucking ringing in, and they had this guy, and they were fucking ranting. Yeah, we're fucking great. We're doing this. Eddie Howe's brilliant. And then when they got to that about Joe Linton, it was like, well, you know, it's not football related. I trust Eddie Howe to do the right thing. Footballing decisions. He's one of our best players. We need him. I'm sure he'll learn from what's happened. How is he going to fucking learn from what's happened if he just gets picked that same night and gets to play? Yeah. How is he going to learn? That's just fucking justifying shit. And it's not surprising coming from Newcastle fans who are fucking happy to take the Saudi money and turn a blind eye to all the bollocks that they've done, you know? Doesn't surprise me at all.
It absolutely disgusts me. So usually the ought to know better rant that I do is it tends to be a bit tongue in cheek and not this one. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Shouldn't be allowed to happen.
Like, did the club fine him or anything for inappropriate behaviour?
I don't care.
No,
He's a multi-millionaire. I don't care.
But they fucking picked him.
Yeah.
You get done for something like that, you know. You have to accept you made that fucking choice, don't you? You have to accept it with your decision. And he should have he should have not even put himself forward to play.
There's wankers all over the place. I mean, look at Ivan Toney for all these betting scandals and stuff like that. It'd be interesting to see how many games he's banned for, what sort of fine he has to serve. Because it won't be 5 games, would it? Or you'd assume not anyway. That what it Stevens?
Well, was it 232? Was it?
232 bets that had been placed or something. Yeah.
But how long Jordan Stevens at Leeds? Yeah.
Was it Jordan Stevens that did it for us?
6 weeks or something away from
like
everything.
6 games. 6 games and a fine and
to the ground.
Wasn't even allowed to train or anything.
Training ground or
nothing to do with football at all.
Nothing. So if he gets any less than that, then it's fucked.
Is this true what Luke said? Because I don't remember this.
I don't. I
drink driving. Didn't we do the same?
I purposely avoided doing that, Jay, because I didn't know myself.
Well, I'm going to ask because
I'm not going to tell him he's wrong because I don't know. I don't remember it.
I don't remember that. We're
just a bunch of nice hypocrites. That's what I like to say. Carl, have you got an ought to know bitter?
No, I'm keeping my mouth shut. Just
to be honest,
say nothing. I've said enough online all day about fucking Jesse and all that, so I'm just going to sit here and rock in my chair for a little bit.
And stuff.
Yeah, I'm just not going to do it. Yeah, I'm just going to keep quiet.
All I want to moan about is how shit it is and Jesse Marsch and stuff. I don't know if I can be asked because we've heard it all before. So I'm just going to leave it.
About? Again, just very briefly, fuck VAR.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
Did you see the absolute shambles? Not only for us, not only with the non-Tona Rodrigo challenges that went. Did you see?
Oh my God!
just pouring through. I could not believe. I mean, I've spoken to a few Scum fans at work and stuff like that, and obviously they're trying to justify. Well, yeah. Fuck
Really?
off. Get in the bin.
Did you see Dermot Gallagher trying to justify it?
Oh
No.
Have you not seen that, Gilly?
He's off his tits.
Oh my God! He's saying to him, "Oh, yeah, well, he's off, but he's not interfering with playing. That's not the rules. It's an advisory. It's not the rule, and he doesn't touch the ball, so he didn't break the. It was along.
He's
those
in
sort
the
of
way.
lines. Yeah,
It's the monotone
The
face,
defender was
complete
where he
lack of
was,
facial expressions and everything that does me from him.
but
He
the
sits there
defender
and
was
talks
where he
like
was because of where Rashford was.
Yeah.
He would have been covering the other man. He would have been watching for the ball, coming to the other man.
The keeper clears all of that if Rashford's not there.
We've turned news,
He's
lads.
done it his entire. Yeah, he's done it his entire career. That's exactly what he does. He's built his career on being a sweeper keeper. He comes out, he clears all of that out. No problem at all if Rashford's not there. You can't come out and do that if there's a man over the ball.
Rashford? Was it Aka? Or one? I can't remember who it was. And I was just 100%. He gets that ball and either knocks it back to Ederson and they play for 100 million%. Have you seen the graphic where he was taking Rashford out?
Yeah.
It's
just a ball in between a defender and a keeper.
Fucking whatever his name is, little bloody Portuguese.
But the other one, Kyle Walker's running in with the rat. He changes his run on the principle that he's not going to be able to get to the ball before him. So he changes his run. But if Rashford's not there to put the doubt in the mind that he might play a ball across or whatever, he just sticks with the man. So there's 3 City players and 1 scummer that's nowhere near the ball if Rashford's not there. So there's no chance. I mean, Bandy coming up, we'd never get a goal like that. Bearing in mind, that baked beanhead had an offside goal. An own goal. Scored an own goal, and that would disallowed for offside for us. We definitely don't get one like Rashford did.
It's generally crazy. The stuff that we don't get. I mean, you can go as far as saying Rodrigo, should have fallen backwards, but no. Why should he have to fall backwards? You can clearly see he's been dragged to the floor, pushed to the floor, however you want to say it. It's just
what really pissed me off was the Nonto one where it was just launched, and then Cooper did exactly the same thing, but it wasn't in box and a free kick we given.
Absolutely.
I've just pulled us this Rashford one in. I've just loaded it in for us. Look at this.
Have you?
Look at that! Like. Get fucked! He's not interfering with play.
It's crazy. It's genuinely.
Could have done without that caption being over it, but you get the idea.
Genuinely mental. Do you know what I liken it to? Do you remember the goal that we scored against Villa? the click out at the click house.
Yeah.
Where all the Villa fans are all wetting their beds and saying, "Well, Tyler Roberts went faked to play the ball."
Yeah. He didn't.
And then he
did.
Yeah. Well, Rashford faked to shoot and then stopped and then
he pulled his leg back.
He pulled his leg back, stopped. The rat came in and slotted one in. It's just so fucking much bullshit. And I'm surprised because obviously they bum City and they bum Liverpool and the scum or whatever. I couldn't believe it, mate. But anyway, fuck VAR. It's a bag of shit, but we've done that to death. Fuck everyone else. So, chaps, I believe Gilly and Luke are doing Berardi and Cook tomorrow.
No, not tomorrow. It'll be too late because I'm taking my little man to the game.
So you're going to do it Thursday?
It'll either be tomorrow and not me, or it will be the day after and me and Luke.
Okay, there you go. And the Brentford B and C will be yours two truly down at the bottom of the screen.
The dream team.
The dream team. The absolute joy that I'm sure that will be on Sunday.
The green team.
And I don't mean that about the podcast. I mean the fucking result. The result against Brentford when we're getting absolutely pumped.
Good save, man. Good save.
I don't want to try to put any sort of grief your way, chaps, at all, honestly. Right. If you haven't done, please subscribe to our channel so you can get more delightful insights as you've seen tonight.
And also go listen to or watch the joyous Apollo Junction
all night.
Go listen to or watch, dependent on how you consume our content, the Apollo Junction interview that came out on Sunday. Lads appear to have a great crack with them, plenty of beers flowing, all sorts of bullshit being talked. It's really funny. So yeah, go and have a listen or a watch of that one.
Right, chaps. Thank you else for joining, for interacting with us through the comments. Thanks to Grandad down at the bottom of comments. Thanks for popping along, mate. It's you're always welcome here. A few nice words for you. But thank you, gents, for joining me. Thanks for everyone in the comments. We'll see you next week.
Are you fucking
Who's done it now?
moron,
Fuck's sake.
children?
What are you doing?